Oh, good morning, everybody. Well, let's see here. Trying to get it just right, but you know, it is what it is. You can see me anyway, because I can see me right there somewhere. Oh, I'm moving a little slow this morning. I mean, I slept okay, but I've been up for a few hours. I've been up probably since about 7 o'clock or 7:30 or something. I mean, I got up once at 6 or around 6. It was close to 6, and then I went back to sleep for a minute, and then I got up and did my reading and stuff like that. But this is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. Number 37. Choose being kind over being right. As I first introduced in strategy number 12, you are given many opportunities to choose between being kind and being right. You have chances to point out to someone their mistakes, things they could or should have done differently, ways they can improve. You have chances to correct people privately as well as in front of others. What all these opportunities amount to are chances to make someone else feel bad and yourself feel bad in the process. Without getting into psychoanalytical about it, the reason we are tempted to put others down, correct them, or show them how we're right and they're wrong is that our ego mistakenly believes that if we point out how someone else is wrong, we must be right, and therefore we will feel better. In actuality, however, if you pay attention to the way you feel after you put someone down, you'll notice that you feel worse than before the put down. Your heart, the compassionate part of you, knows that it's impossible to feel better at the expense of someone else. Luckily, the opposite is true when your goal is to build people up, to make them feel better, to share in their joy. You too reap the rewards of their positive feelings. The next time you have the chance to correct someone, even if their facts are a little off, resist the temptation. Instead, ask yourself, what do I really want out of this interaction? Chances are what you want is a peaceful interaction where all parties leave feeling good. Each time you resist being right and instead choose kindness, you'll notice a peaceful feeling within. Recently, my wife and I were discussing a business idea that had turned out really well. I was talking about my idea, clearly taking credit for our success. Chris, in her usual loving manner, allowed me to have the glory. Later that day, I remembered that the idea was actually her idea, not mine. Whoops. When I called her to apologize, it was obvious to me that she cared more for my joy than she did her own need to take credit. She said that she enjoys seeing me happy and that it doesn't matter whose idea it was. Do you see why she's so easy to love? Don't confuse this strategy with being a wimp or not standing up for what you believe in. I'm not suggesting that it's not okay for you to be right, only that if you insist on being right, there is often a price to pay, your inner peace. In order to be a person filled with equanimity, you must choose kindness over being right most of the time. The best place to start is with the next person you speak to. Yeah. I'll reaffirm that part where, no, I don't think he is saying to be a wimp or be a wuss or be let somebody walk all over you. Although sometimes I tend to do that. I let I'll put me personally, I do have a pretty good tolerable soul. So a lot of times I'll tolerate a whole lot before I just get finally fed up with something. And that's sometimes a detriment because at times I've let some things go too far to where when it's finally addressed by me, I'm addressing it in a little more aggressive way, and I don't like I like to be able to be level-headed when I bring something to the table that is bothering me, that's coming from someone else's actions or words or whatever. But yeah, there's been plenty of times in my life, I don't know how many times growing up, that I'm from the South. I was born in Tennessee. But all around me, there was quite a few people that tended to like to call certain races certain words pretty regularly. And the funny thing is usually they're not saying those words in front of anybody else that was of those particular races, just when they were around who they thought might actually believe the same way they were taught or whatever. For the most part, I've never felt the need to try to correct someone or start an argument, especially if I was in a situation where, I couldn't easily exit. It's like, okay, I'm in a situation. These people are obviously a little racist or whatever. I just let them be who they are. Didn't mean that I hated them either or anything. I don't hate anybody. I mean, I used to be full of a lot of anger and anguish and had a lot of kind of self-hatred, a lot more than anything else. But that's been a long time ago. But I did have a view of the world where I really didn't like anybody. I was very much a people person, outgoing, but I just I just don't like the way the world, the system, everything. You can see it. I saw it from early in my life. I could just see the corruption. I could see the people like want to make clicks and this and that, and it was like I just bullshit, really. And like I've said, I don't tend to cuss a lot in my videos, but I mean, bullshit is bullshit. So if you're offended by that, I can't help you on that one. But I'm not trying to. I try not to be too foul and everything as far as when I'm making these videos. And, in my real life, I try to watch what I say as much as possible. Now, like I've mentioned before, all through the day, there's plenty of times that I find myself cussing and being irate over stupid stuff, and I have to calm down and, be like, hey, Gray Cloud, it ain't that big a deal. I'm getting a lot better at it. It's just it's like, it's same like with the 5 agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz says it's something you got to practice at. It's like, if I'm not going to get like you don't just get good at something overnight unless you're just a natural talent at it. But when it comes to certain processes and certain ways you're trying to adjust and live your life, it's a period of time that you got to go through sometimes to get to where you may envision where you'd like to be. Like I want to be, I want to present myself in the right manner. I am cautious more nowadays in the sense that I'm doing a YouTube channel and I'm on social media, and there's a lot of people starting to know who I am. And so, I was talking to my friend Mike the other day. I was talking to my friend Jordan yesterday about it. Essentially I'm kind of building a brand here. My goal isn't ultimately to be rich or to make a bunch of money, but I can gladly say that God's gave me a vision of what could possibly come about from everything I'm doing within, say, the next 5 years. Now, granted, there are some pretty rough times coming ahead of us, but according to what I'm working with and what guides me, we still got a little ways in the distance before we get to the real doo-doo. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I know now. I do know in 2024 to expect something pretty big going on. There's going to be some kind of hoodoo going on, so be prepared for that. Whether that be the internet shutting down, and I'm going to tell you right now, if that does happen, that's an inside job. It's not some attack from China or anything. It'll be our own authorities shutting it down, making it look like something that it ain't. Now, I don't talk about a lot of this stuff, and I don't want to get into talking about a lot of this stuff on YouTube. I've worked hard to build up to almost 500 people here on subscribing, and I want to keep it going. So I will keep my content to mainly spiritual based nature and like motivational, sharing my writings, my personal life, my views, my action figures. I will be getting into that more as we go along. So I'll work out a schedule again and have like a few days a week where if you're here to watch some of my fun stuff, you'll know what days to come and watch. So, but I try to, you know, I don't know. I guess that's about all I got to say. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't hit the like button and you got this far and you're hearing me, please hit the like button. That thumb, hit it. If you've watched this far, then it means you've liked something I'm saying. So hit the like button for me, please. And if you're not subscribed, I'd ask you to consider subscribing. As we grow, I say we. This is not all about Gray Cloud, me, or Jason. If you can spell, you'll know what that spelled out. My legal name, but I don't use that legal name to people. Like some people want to call me that. Now, people from the past, way back, like my sister, it don't really upset me or nothing. But there's been a few people here lately that have found out my legal name and want to, for some reason, insist on calling me that. And I just ain't. It's really not that important. I guess as long as you ain't calling me a jackass, But if I am being a jackass, then call me that, It's not that big a deal, I guess. Or what they say, don't call me late for dinner, But okay, let's wrap it up here. This is Gray Cloud, Mr. Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. Over and out. Wishing all of you a great, glorious, blessed day. And ditto. Ditto. Ditto equals I love you.